Soil amendments are substances that are used to alter the soil profile to make soil more conducive for plant growth. Most soil amendments have little, if any, nutrient value, hence the primary purpose of soil amendments is to condition the soil, not fertilize it. However, some soil amendments do inherently come with a small nutrient load. When this is the case, traditional fertilizer inputs can be reduced by the balance of the nutrition coming from the soil amendment. The 5 most common uses of soil amendments are adjusting the pH, reducing soil compaction, increasing nutrient retention, adjusting water retention, and conditioning the soil to support beneficial soil microbes. Common examples of soil conditioners include lime, which is used to raise the soil pH, gypsum, assists with compaction, sand and silt, which can be integrated into the soil to increase porosity for better air and water penetration, and organic matter. Organic matter is a critical component of healthy soils that yield healthy turf, so let's expand on organic matter for the next few minutes. In science, organic chemistry is the study of carbon-based compounds, so when you think organic, think carbon-containing. Now, you probably heard the term organically grown. Organically grown is actually a set of farming or culturing standards that avoids the use of certain pesticides. Ironically, nearly every single conventional pesticide on the market is actually a carbon-based molecule. In other words, the use of the word organic means 2 completely different things to 2 completely different groups of people in the industry. So remember, in the chemistry and biological fields of fertilizers, soil sciences, and plant physiology, when we use the word organic, we mean carbon-containing substance. Before we give examples of the different kinds of organic materials used in the industry, let's review the characteristics of an ideal soil. Soils are comprised of both inorganic and organic matter. Inorganic matter is non-carbon containing and consists mostly of sand, silt, and clay. The only difference among sand, silt, and clay is particle size. Clay particles are the smallest, they're actually microscopic, followed by silt and then sand. An ideal soil for growing turf, ornamentals, trees, or even vegetable gardens will have about 95% inorganic matter to 5% organic matter by weight. Further, an ideal mix of that 95% inorganic matter should be about 1/3 sand, 1/3 silt, and 1/3 clay, although there is room for some variability. Now, too much sand and the soil can't hold water and nutrients. Too much silt and the soil becomes soft and spongy, making roots susceptible to mechanical agitation. And too much clay and the soil becomes compacted, which leads to poor oxygen exchange and water penetration. Take a look at the triangular diagram that breaks down soil types by sand, silt, and clay content. Turf grass can be grown in many soil types, but tends to suffer when soil composition gravitates towards the corners or edges of the triangular diagram. That's why it's important to have a good mix of sand, silt, and clay. Focusing again on organic matter, 5% might not seem like a lot, but a little bit goes a long way. And when organic matter is deficient in soils, it can have a deleterious impact on microbe and plant health. Have you ever wondered why turf grass doesn't grow on a sandy beach? That's because pure sand isn't conducive to grow plants. So why are organic substances so important in plant soil systems? Because they perform all of these critical roles. They hold nutrients in the root zone, thus increasing the CEC or cation exchange capacity value of soils. They chelate micronutrients, stimulate root development, increase the water holding capacity of the soil, and provide an ideal living environment for beneficial soil microbes. Examples of organic soil amendments include humic and fulvic acids, manure, biosolids, and composts. All of these organic substances were once living organisms, whether they be bacterial, fungal, plant, or animal. What makes them valuable to plant soil systems is that they have undergone biodegradation thanks to assistance from microbial digestion, heat, pressure, or any combination of these 3 influences over time. Even though these substances are applied primarily for their soil amending capabilities, most of these come with a small nutrient or fertilizer load. But remember, the primary benefits of organic substances can be attributed to their carbon structure, not because of the small nutrient quantity that may come along for the ride. And remember, carbon itself is not a fertilizer. All of the carbon that plants absorb from the environment for growth and metabolism comes from carbon dioxide in the air, not solid carbon in the ground. Again, the carbon in the ground isn't used by plants for nutrition. Carbon in the ground acts exclusively as a soil conditioner. If your turf or ornamentals or other plants are suffering from nutrient deficiencies, drought conditions, poor root systems, or poor microbial diversity, it could be as simple as you don't have enough organic matter in your soil. Figuring out your soil's organic content is as simple as conducting a soil test.